Tip of the day, please do not go solar with Sunrun. And if you do, please make sure you read the entire contract. Read what's actually in the contract and what they're actually going to be doing for you. I'm going to break down what I saw in a contract that a customer of mine saw and how we helped him switch to a better program. My name is Michael. I started this YouTube channel to help educate people on what these different programs are in solar and how to go solar the right way with the program that works best for your home, and actually explaining what those programs do, from the lease to purchase to a power purchase agreement to a loan, and which option is going to be best for you, as well as helping you find the best options in those different categories. So let's dive into some of the things that are on this contract that makes it so upsetting and makes it so manipulative. Let me show you this. All right, so here is the agreement. This is the agreement that the customer sent over to me. To start, the customer said the Sunrun has given me a $466 a month, zero interest. This is never going to go up. Zero escalator, $466 a month for these 52 panels and these 4 Tesla Powerwalls. I said, okay, that sounds, when I was doing the math, it was like, that seems very low for what Sunrun normally prices their deals at. So he sent this over to me, and this is what we found. First, this is not a 0%. As you can see marked in purple here, this is not a 0%. The customer or the sales rep told the customer multiple times, this is something that will not increase. I don't know if he was just saying not increase throughout the year, but it's going to be a flat rate throughout the year. Like it's going to be the same every single month, but then go up each year. I don't know what he was actually saying, but the customer, I got the impression that this was a 0% interest rate or a 0% escalator. So make sure when you're looking at a PPA or a lease, making sure you know what that escalator is. Don't take it for the sales rep's face value. Make sure you know what that actually is. In this case, it was 3.5%. The second thing is the way they trick you on this minimum billing versus this flex rate. So first, up here, you see nothing about what the actual rate for solar is besides what flex rate is. So right here, you see year one flex rate. This is for 14.9 cents. You say, oh wow, 14.9 cents, that's phenomenal, right? I'm paying right now 42 cents or 41 cents, or depending on where you're at with PG&E, SDG&E, or Edison, you are in some of these either 40 cents, 45 cents, 48 cents per kilowatt. Jumping down to 14.9 is phenomenal. But what they don't tell you is this is for your flex rate. We'll go into this in a little bit. But you have first this 466, which is the minimum amount that you're going to be billed each month. So what does that mean? 466. A lot of customers just think, okay, that's what I'm being billed. That's what it is. They don't really understand what this flex billing means. The current usage of the customer was 17,878 kilowatts, but he wanted to produce extra power for his electric vehicles. He was getting 2 electric vehicles and a spa, so he wanted to get some extra power. That's why we're producing 26,000 kilowatt hours. That's why they were producing 26,000 kilowatt hours. All right, so let's look at this. This is now page 2, and we are now looking at the big picture flex program. So this should give us a better idea of what the flex program is and why it's so manipulative. So you have a monthly minimum bill of $466 that is going to be basically providing the power for 17,878 kilowatt hours. And what they don't show anywhere is that this monthly, this 466 for 17,878 kilowatt hours is 31.29 cents per kilowatt. So all they show here is the nice flex rate, but they don't show the 31.29 cent rate, which is for all of this $466, and they only show you this 14 to make it look like it's something a lot better. All right, so let's go down here again. So $466 by $17,878. Again, that's 31 cents per kilowatt, which is not a good rate. Just to give you an idea, that is not a good rate when you're going solar with a power purchase agreement. That is not something you want to be. You want to be under 25 cents on those power purchase agreements, especially if you are at a 3.5% escalator. Then over here, it does say you have 8,359 annual kilowatt hours to use on top of what this 17,000 kilowatt hours is. But now let's actually see what that looks like. So your monthly minimum is 466, and then say you use all that extra flex power. Now your total bill the total maximum monthly bill $570 a month, which goes up by 3.5% per year. Again, when the customer is like, okay, I'm getting a good deal at $466 a month. That seems like a pretty good deal for 27,000 kilowatt hours. His average bill before this was about $700. And so it's not a terrible deal for $466 a month to replace that $700 bill. But what it actually is, use what he's expecting to use, his bill is going to be $570 a month. And that is going to be increasing at 3.5% per year. So let's see what that actually looks like. Again, this is never something customers look at. They just don't look at this. This is something that's very important for you to look at when you are going solar. This is something that is going to show you what your rates are going to be over the 25 years. Great. Some of the monthly payments in the beginning look phenomenal. Oh, great. I'm going to be saving so much. But let's see what it looks like in the future, because we never know what the utilities are going to do. If they don't continue to go up, this is going to cost you a heck of a lot more than what you're paying right now. Again, this is the type of manipulation that I hate about Sunrun. First, only thing they're showing here is the flex rate. They don't show what the rate is for the minimum monthly payment. And they don't show what the rate is for the total monthly payment. So it's going to be close to 34 cents in total for when you're using the maximum amount. And they don't show you that. All they're showing here is the 14.9 cents for the extra flex power, which is manipulative because it's showing you, oh yeah, you get this 14.9 cents, making it harder for customers to compare what they're getting and what their rates are compared to other quotes that they might be getting. Again, very, very manipulative. First, year one though, do away with that and let's just look at what your maximum monthly payment is going to be versus what your minimum monthly payment is going to be and how that 3.5% affects you over those years. And now at the end, you're paying a guaranteed $1,189 per month, regardless of what you're using at that point. Again, if you don't use that much power and you use a little bit less, you're paying a guaranteed $1,360 a month, regardless of how much you use. And so who knows what's going to happen in the future? These 3.5% escalators can be very deceptive because it looks good in the beginning, but then in the future, when you don't know what your electric uses are going to be, you don't know if that person's going to sell the house, you don't know who's going to be in that house in the future, and they're going to have a guaranteed $1,000 a month for electricity. Now, we do think the utilities are going to go up by a lot, and they'll probably get close to that as well. But if they don't, this is a guarantee. This is something you have to pay, versus if the utility company goes up, maybe you use less power, maybe you find some other ways to use less power and you don't have to pay that much. So when you're getting solar, make sure you're going with a payment that's going to be comfortable for the 25 years, not just something that's going to be comfortable now, hoping that the power is going to be significantly more expensive and that this is still going to be a good rate in the future. Because again, this goes up from $570 up to $1,189 by year 25 and costing you well over $150,000 over the entire time period of this 25 years. I hope that gives you a little bit of a breakdown of how these are so deceptive. This is the last thing. They don't show what you're actually going to be getting. They say you're going to get a Tesla or a similar, you're going to get a Tesla or a similar battery, you're going to get these type of panels or a similar type of panel, but they're not guaranteeing that you're going to get these panels. So if you're really hoping to get a certain type of panel or a certain type of battery because you want that ecosystem or that infrastructure, you like that brand, whatever it is, they are not guaranteeing this. So I hope this gives you a little bit more details on how Sunrun is trying to manipulate their customers into buying something that, but if you are going to deal with Sunrun, make sure you read the entire contract. Make sure you read what they're actually doing. Make sure you read the reviews and what other people have experienced. And if you do want to quote, feel free to reach out. I have multiple different financing options, multiple different power purchase agreement options to make sure you're getting the best rate and make sure you're getting the rate that's going to be best for you. So we're going to go over a lot of different questions to make sure we're getting something that is the best fit for you and your situation for the long term, not just something that is right here, right now. My information is in the link down below. Feel free to reach out.